I'm Smriti Agarwal, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome all of you to the ICC Annual Conclave 2025. It's an honor to have such a distinguished gathering of policymakers, industry leaders, technical experts, and development partners with us today. We are here under a unifying vision to take India's national cooling commitments from the drawing board to implementation on the ground. The theme for this year's conclave, From National Vision to Local Action, emphasizes the critical role of subnational action in shaping India's sustainable and inclusive cooling future. Before we begin, I would like to express a sincere thanks to all the member organizations of ICC, delegates, and supporting institutions for their continued collaboration and commitment to advancing India's cooling agenda. Over the course of today's sessions, we'll be exploring how states can develop tailored cooling roadmaps, strengthen institutional capacity, and embed sustainable cooling into their climate strategies, urban planning, and public health frameworks. Key conversations will focus on bridging the cooling scaling gap, unlocking innovative financing mechanisms, and leveraging regulatory frameworks and market incentives to accelerate the adoption of climate-friendly cooling solutions. This is not just a policy dialogue, it's a platform for action, collaboration, and forward-looking commitment. To formally open this important gathering and to deliver the welcome message, may I invite Dr. Satish Kumar, President and Executive Director, Alliance for an Energy Efficient Economy. Can we please have a round of applause?
Hello, am I audible? Okay. So thanks, Smriti, and a very, very warm welcome to all the participants, I think, who are here in this room to talk, discuss, and plan the next course of action on a very, very important topic. It's especially pertinent because I think the heat is on. All of us are talking about cooling and thermal comfort. The press is full of news, I think, on this topic. And we all know that the severity and the frequency of, I think, this is only going to increase in the coming years and decades. So a very, very important agenda. And I would also, this is our second annual cooling conclave. And I think it has the potential to become a very, very significant event, not like a very large event, but maybe I think a very sort of reflective and well thought out event, because we have all the leading players, I think, as ICC members in the room, and they can really help, I think, the government, the local government, the state government and national government in setting the agenda, as well as, I think, in putting forth the solutions that is going to be very helpful as everybody is looking towards, I think, how do we cope with this? I think almost like an emerging emergency that I think we are facing. I would especially like to thank our distinguished guests, especially Sri Rajendra Singh ji. He is going to be here. He is the head of National Disaster Management Agency. He is a little late, but he's going to join us very soon, and we are privileged to have him, I think, speak to all of us. And also I would like to welcome Arundhati Khanna. She's the President, ASHRAE India chapter, and plus all our esteemed guests, member organizations, attendees from government, industry, academia, and the civil society. Your presence today, I think, it reflects the growing momentum and the shared urgency around the issue of sustainable and inclusive cooling. I think, as all of us are aware, and all of you know, that India is at the epicenter of a growing cooling demand driven by rapid urbanization, rising incomes, and worsening, I think, heat stress. And one number that I have talked about in the past also, and I think in the video that was being played, we are a population of 1.4 billion people, and we have a cooling degree days roughly, I think, at a national level of about 3,000 cooling degree days. I think if you multiply these two numbers, we are really talking about more than 4 trillion person cooling degree days. And I think that's a number that tells you about, I think, the quantum of the problem and I think what we are facing up. In comparison, I think if you talk about China, also like about 1.4 billion, but the cooling degree days there is just like 1200 or something, so about 2.5 times. I think India becomes bigger in terms of the latent cooling demand. And if you talk about US, if you are talking about three large countries, the US has a population of about 350 million, and then a cooling degree days on a national average which is less than 1,000. So you can start to quickly see that India's cooling demand is 10x, I think, that of US, 3x that of China, and that makes, I think, the problem dawn on all of us that I think what are we facing about. So I think if I think by some estimates by credible organizations, we are looking at emissions just from cooling is likely to reach about more than 6 billion tons of carbon dioxide equivalent by 2050. Again, putting this number into context, India's total greenhouse gas emissions, CO2 emissions right now is about, say, 2.5 billion tons. So we are talking about, if we multiply it by 2.5 times, I mean, that will be the total emissions that will just come out from cooling. So I think you look at it from any perspective, any metrics, and you understand that I think why this has become such a critical sort of like domain and a policy focus. I was, when I went to invite Mr. Rajendra Singh at NDMA about 3-4 days ago, he was saying that our Prime Minister is taking sort of like briefing from multiple ministries on how to deal with heat stress. And this is not just a one-off, this is like at an early stage of summer onset that is happening. And it's MOEFCC, it's Department of Health, it's Ministry of Power, I think it's DST. So it's like not just one ministry. Everybody understands that this is a cross-cutting theme. This is a cross-cutting sort of like policy sort of convergence that has to be done. And that's essentially, I think, what we are also focused on. I think as Smriti talked about, that the focus, and all of us agree that there are good policies at the national level. Of course, many of us were involved in the development of India Cooling Action Plan, and this whole ICC construct was created to help implement India Cooling Action Plan. And I think as we have worked, many organizations are working at the state and local level, we are realizing, I think, what is the gap, and how I think the state and local governments are struggling to cope with, I think, this I think emerging crisis, if I can use that word. And again, I would say that why I think subnational action is more needed today is, I think, because if you look at the resource, and both the manpower resources as well as the financial resources, I think the local and state government are really constrained in terms of how to tap into that, and then how to I think how to sort of carry out anything in a coherent manner. I think in terms of like as a coalition of 23 member organizations, the India Cooling Coalition has steadily grown into a national platform for research, dialogue, and coordination on cooling. And one thing that I think I really like about it, that it's not one organization that is driving, I think, this coalition. This is, I think, every organization has an equal stake and an equal ownership, I think, in driving the agenda of the India Cooling Coalition. And I think that's the beauty. I think any coalition, if it has to succeed, I think we need to be very mindful of, I think, these things. And I think we are definitely striving towards that. Even as Secretariat, I think AAAE is aware of, I think, this particular issue. And I think our team, I think it tries to, I think, inculcate this in the event that is planned, in, I think, in the different webinars and other things that are being, or the web, or the website, or the newsletters that are coming out, I think, under the India Cooling Coalition. In phase 6, so I think this is also a testament that we are almost into the 6th year of our India Cooling Coalition. That means that I think all the members view this as an important forum, as an important sort of like coming together of voices and ideas and experiences that we have cumulatively to sort of like put forward our thing. In fact, I was talking to Kapilji at ISHRE, and I was saying that how can we go beyond the normal and the average and sort of like the commonly spelled out narratives, I think, that we hear, I think, at many events and I think in the press as well. And how can we sort of like stand apart from that, that this is not just another event, but I think we are sort of an engine to generate new ideas that can then be spread around in the country and implemented by any of the 23 organizations that are there. So I think this is like from launching thought leadership initiatives and webinars to reactivating, I think, is some of the key task forces on strategic communication and sustainable cold chain. I think we have had some good success, but I think all of us know that there is a lot of work to be done, I think, and that is in front of us. We are also laying the groundwork for consolidating knowledge resource that reflects the coalition's collective expertise and experience. So here also I am welcoming, I think, all the member organizations to come up with ideas that if we want to create some knowledge repository which is in public domain, maybe at the website, and where people can come and maybe by topic or by actions, I think if we can put all those things together. Importantly, we have also worked to expand our network by identifying potential new members who can add value to this movement. So I think if we have been selective and we have been careful not to sort of like just extend this partnership to anybody and everybody. And I think it's through the collective, I think, decision making and discussions that I think we have come to this point where we are saying that maybe adding some new members, I think, to this will be a good idea. I think what can you expect at this conclave over the next couple of days? So we want to, as I said, we don't want it to be like a talking shop, I think, where people are coming and speaking, but we really want an action-focused agenda and a call for action. I think that's the theme of this particular conference. And over the next 2 days, we will focus on translating India's national cooling vision into actionable state-level strategies, as I think all of you are aware of it because you have set the agenda for this conclave. Our session is going to focus on 6 critical themes. The first one is assessing what is the current infrastructure and what is the institutional capacity. We know that I think this is an ongoing topic. It's not going to change, I think, even 10 years from now. So I think how do we sort of like plan and kind of like execute and what is, I think, our current capacity to do that is going to be discussed. Scaling sustainable and climate friendly cooling technologies. I don't need to belabor this point, whether we are talking, I think, in terms of compressors from a component to district cooling to cold chain to refrigerants. I think all of that comes under the technological sort of like the piece. So very, very important. Creating market enablers and policy instruments. So all of us pretty much work, I think, in one way or the other with the policy makers, and so that becomes a pretty important pillar as well. Unlocking finance and investments. I think I think we don't need to be, I think, highlighting this. We know how important money is, how important, I think, investment is. How can we go to the government or to other funding agencies and make a case that I think more money should be given, more for, I think, local state actions, but more for even investment into private sector companies, because we cannot just expect that private sector has this unlimited source of capital and they need to make the investment. So I think that narrative, I think, also it becomes very, very important, because if this is such an important crisis, then how can we convince the government to actually work with the private sector in developing, I think, some of these emerging technologies, so that India, I think, it becomes an engine for innovation and growth, and we don't need to rely on any other country for, I think, that, which is currently the case. Enhancing public procurement mechanism. This is another very, very important piece. Again, something that we can very simply say that is it a possibility that all 23 organizations or ICC, we come together and say that government has to procure only 5-star equipment. I think nothing like no dithering, nothing. I think this is one very simple step where government can take. It doesn't have to actually discuss too much. Yes, I think there is a little bit of first cost addition that is coming, but if government is paying the bill, we know that this is going to get recovered over the next 3 to 4 years. So makes eminent financial sense, sends the right signal to the market, and helps actually mobilize the innovation ecosystem that we are talking about, where private sector says that there is a ready-made market if everyone wants to sell to the public sector. And I think that could be a very simple way to generating demand for more energy efficient appliances and equipment. And finally, bridging the skills and capacity gap, so which is also something very, so these are the 6 pillars. I think there will be different sessions that we will be talking about, and we'll be diving a little bit more into the detail in each of those sessions. So from, I think, heat resilience to food security, from public health to renewable integration, I think cooling touches every aspect of sustainable development, and it is time to treat it as an essential infrastructure. And I think that's the way I think we are going to make progress. So in closing, I will say that I hope this forum will spark new ideas, partnerships, and insights. The challenges we know are very, very real, and but solutions are also real. And I think with our collective sort of like actions, we can actually drive those solutions forward. Let us use this opportunity to drive coordinated action and not just discussion. And once again, thank you all for joining us, and I wish you a productive, engaging, and impactful 2 days ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Satish Kumar, for such an insightful start to the day. I now invite Anushka Maheshwari from AEEE, also leading the ICC Secretariat at AEEE, to give a brief introduction and history of ICC. Anushka, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the quick break for queuing up the PPT. Good morning to all of you. A very warm welcome to the ICC Annual Conclave 2025. We are absolutely delighted to have such a diverse group of stakeholders present with us today. You're all very passionate, and we're all gathered here today to take forward our shared vision, which is one that champions sustainable, inclusive, and impactful cooling solutions in India. Let me begin by telling you a little bit about the India Cooling Coalition. So the India Cooling Coalition is a dynamic multi-stakeholder platform that brings together nonprofits, academic and research institutions, and industry associations, all united by a commitment to sustainable cooling research and application. As Dr. Satish rightly mentioned in his insightful address, ICC serves as a national platform for dialogue, connecting diverse voices and perspectives. With 23 member organizations, the coalition plays a pivotal role in accelerating the implementation of the India Cooling Action Plan and addressing key developmental challenges. These efforts align with both national priorities and international commitments, including the Kigali Amendment, the Paris Agreement, and the Sustainable Development Goals. Our vision is very simple. It's to advance access to affordable and sustainable cooling in India. Our mission is very bold, which is to fast-track the implementation of the India Cooling Action Plan to ensure thermal comfort, health, and food security for all, through knowledge sharing and strategic policy interventions. We work towards 3 core goals: to position cooling as a critical development and climate priority within the Indian policy framework, to foster collaboration between government, industry, academia, and research institutions to design and execute impactful interventions, and finally, to provide access to market data, technical expertise, and actionable insights on sustainable cooling. Let me quickly take you through how far we've come. So we kicked off phase 6 in 2016, initiated by AEEE with support from Shakti Sustainable Energy Foundation. This marked the formation of the Sustainable and Smart Space Cooling Coalition, bringing together diverse organizations for the first time. In phase 2, members of the coalition contributed significantly to shaping the India Cooling Action Plan. In phase 3, the coalition evolved into what we now know as the India Cooling Coalition. Phase 4 and phase 5 focused on strengthening our communication strategy, including the launch of our social media presence, and uniting members and stakeholders to amplify our collective voice on the importance of cooling. We are now in phase 6, where our focus is on fortifying the ICC community and enhancing its role as a catalyst for the strategic implementation of ICAP, with the aim of reshaping India's cooling landscape. We're truly excited to have all of you here today at the ICC Annual Conclave. Together, let's continue to build a future where sustainable and equitable cooling is a reality for every Indian. Thank you, and let's get started with an inspiring 2 days ahead.
Thank you, Anushka, for such an insightful presentation. For the special address, it is my privilege to welcome Ms. Arundhati Singh Khanna, President, ASHRAE India Chapter. Let's all give her a warm welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Satish ji. Thank you for having me, everyone. Do I have to lower the mic or is it okay? Yeah, I think it's fine. Thank you. It's great to be here. Albert Schweitzer said, "We do not hold Mother Earth. We only hold her in trust for future generations." And I think this one sentence, for me as a child, when I heard it the first time, encapsulated almost everything of every activity, job, profession, or personal thing that we were ever going to do. Whatever we were going to do or perform should have a legacy somehow attached to it. As architects and engineers shaping the built environment and the voice around it, we hold a unique position to influence and disseminate the correct information and scenario to the public at large and our own community. And we work with environmental specialists, policy makers. This morning, when I was reading the papers, I actually photocopied 4 articles from 4 different newspapers. Satish was absolutely right that everything is in the news. It seems like inferno is upon us. And the heat is on and we're all burning. The 4 articles were, in the Indian Express, there was Ion Waste to Energy Plant, MCD inks packed with 2 power transmitters. There was, and it was strange because in the same paper, right next to this article, which I thought was brilliant, I to Waste to Energy Plant, MCD inks packed with 2 power transmitters, right next to it, the last paragraph says the trees planted on a 15-acre land, they will have to cut all of those trees down. And therefore the public is creating a hue and cry for environmental issues. Right next to it, there is a picture which says cooling down, which has pictures. People play cricket under the shade of trees in New Delhi. The capital recorded a daily temperature of 37.8 degrees Celsius and a low of 24 degrees. The IMD has forecast strong winds for Wednesday, which is today. It's strange that we talk about state level and we talk about national level, and we talk about different bodies that have to come together to do the work that we hope that we are technically competent to guide them in. And it's strange that we read articles like this, and this is right next to each other, and we somehow seem to carry on with life like everything is okay. Everyone seems to be working in silos. No one seems to be wanting to talk together and bring together a dialogue. So thank you, Satishji, for doing that. The next paper was said monsoon to be above normal this year, and we all know what a big problem we had with water and rains last year. Then we had Times of India saying cold discomfort, tug of war over temperature leaves professionals high and dry. It was this long article in Times of India this morning. It's completely on air conditioning. And when I read it, I was surprised that the person here who wrote it, Meghna Dhupia, she had not actually contacted ASHRAE India chapter or any of the Cooling Coalition members who should have given some kind of statement on this. So it's very nice that the national level people are talking to the media, but I think it's time that technically competent organizations such as the 23 member organizations that are part of the India Cooling Coalition also start talking to the media or engage with it in a positive way to let the information be disseminated to the public at large, which is what these bodies were formed for, as to what exactly we are doing and how we're going about it, and what are the actionable measures. The last article, which I found this morning, was in the Times of India saying summer, no happy ending, which was heat action plans across cities will fail because they are not backed by money and they don't factor in local conditions. Heat waves must be classified as natural disasters with legally binding solutions. And and of course, the head of NDMA is here, so I will not say much. I'm dying to hear his talk today, and then have a cup of tea with him later, hopefully, if time allows. But I think that, the president of ASHRAE Society, Dennis Knight, set out a very good theme for the year 24-25, which was empowering our workforce, building a sustainable future. And in keeping with his theme for the society, our theme at ASHRAE India chapter was circular economy, deploying waste management and embodied energy of materials with an increased focus on water to create self-sustenance in community-based programs, enhancing, encouraging, and supporting workforce development. And here I defined workforce development as 5 things, which I defined as knowledge-based development, skill set development, execution ability development, resourcefulness development, and network development, which is what this is. The 23 organizations that are the member organizations of the India Cooling Coalition hold amongst them the knowledge, experience, insight, and wisdom on managing strategies for urban and rural habitats where we ourselves have created problems for ourselves that seem difficult now to fathom, resolve, and tackle unless addressed and resolved as a circular loop holistically. And as we build 2.5 trillion square feet of new build and 2.5 trillion square feet of renovations, there is, to accommodate a population of 10 billion people in the world, the need to decarbonize the environment is greater than ever before, with the need to educate and promote the dissemination of knowledge around it. I think enough of also success, as we know, is a team sport. It's a shared vision, a collective vision for a better world that each one of us has a role to play in it. We are not alone, and therefore being part of ASHRAE never fails to remind me and acutely acknowledge and be grateful for the part of community that I belong to, which is a community of global change makers who become hopefully a beacon of hope and possibility of what can be achieved when you stay true to your calling with the highest levels of integrity, intention, and purpose. I also studied the example of Singapore, and I talk about Indore. I especially went to Indore to do a visit on how they run their city, and I marvel at the political will and the bureaucracy will that actually set together something in motion that did not just work but worked consistently year after year after year after year. They have just bettered every system. 10 years, and Indore is still the city number one when it comes to net zero waste. They've managed to do it. We're all Indians. Why can't we do it? Clearly, what worked there, and I went on the ground, I met the sanitation workers, I went to the sludge dehygienization plant, I met all the people there, the segregation of waste. Everyone loved Manish Kumar, and I will take the audacity of taking his name here because he's an IES officer. But everyone loved him. From 2 in the morning, he used to be on the ground. And I think so much has to be top down because bottom up can only do as much as the top down will sort of infiltrate and push and champion and become a beacon of hope and possibility for. Which is what I want to end on, saying that if Indore can do it, they are, with all the sludge, they've actually made something called Kisan Amrit. Our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, inaugurated this wonderful plant, which is built with a PPP between UK and India. The sludge from there, actually, I got here. And the other thing I can't understand is why we don't use wonderful stalwarts like Pradeep Krishan, who are, they do what is called ecological restoration and soil rebalancing. And we are going around in Delhi. I'm aghast when I read the articles of how Yamuna is being planted with orchids from Singapore, or these fancy trees. The latest I read was cherry blossoms from Japan. How on earth do we think this is sustainable? Carbon sequestration is something that we can so easily follow as a community. Mangrove trees in Bombay, for example, they are the best source of carbon sequestration. And we talk about circular economy. Circular carbon economy is where the world is headed. And we have, we barely know net zero waste, water waste. And, we are cutting down the mangrove trees in Bombay to build, to do development. So I think what we need, Satishji, is we need you to join politics. That's what we really need. We need people who are technically, thank you, and we shall all canvass for you here. So you have 23-member organization that will canvass for you. But I think we need, look at our External Affairs Minister, Dr. Jaishankar. He is a technically competent man and he's doing a great job. So I think we need more technically competent people leading the political will and influencing them. And so we can do a lot of better things. And on that note, thank you.
That was quite an impactful address, and I would love to connect with you during lunch and discuss and go over some topics. Moving on, for the special address, the second special address in the segment, please join me in welcoming Mr. Rajinder Singh, member and head of the Department, National Disaster Management Authority.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry for late. I was in Vigyan Bhavan. We are having a very different workshop today on psychosocial workshop for 2 days workshop in Vigyan Bhavan, where we got a representative from states, from ministry, health ministries, and so I've just finished my talk there. And as promised to my friend, I said yes, I'll be there, but I'll be a little late. So I'm really sorry for all of you for being late. First thing, I like the national vision to local action. Totally apt. Madam said bottom up, top down to bottom up. This time has come now. And when we are talking about Viksit Bharat for next 22 years is remaining, and Sendai framework for another 5 years we are going to finish. We have to analyze ourselves where we have reached, what we have done in last 10-15 years, and what is your future plans. And I thank all of you. You are the knowledge partners. You are because I can see the academia here, partners, business partners, everybody is here who is taking this nation towards the Viksit Bharat route. Because NDMA is there. NDMA was formed in 2005, you know that. When 1993, we have seen Latur earthquake, where the 10,000 people lost their life, 30,000 was injured, and 1 million people was homeless. 99, we have come and we have seen more than 13,000 people in Paradeep lost their life. Lakhs people was livelihood and infrastructure was lost. Then we talk about Bhuj, earthquake 2001, then tsunami in 2004. And today, when we talk about cyclone, you take about Bulbul, Ramel, Hudhud, or Biparjoy, Amphan, the mortality rate in Biparjoy and other was 0. We have achieved 0 mortality. From 13,000 to 0. Because we have taken lot of program and project with the states. My friend is there from Odisha here. Now, what we need is the government of India. If you talk about 13 Finance Commission, only 33,000 crore was allocated for disaster management. When it comes to 14th Finance Commission, is around 64,000 crore was given. When it comes to 15th Finance Commission, it is 2,28,000 crore rupees was allocated to center and states. Out of that, 1,60,000 crore was distributed and given to state for 36 states. To look after your states. Look after your man. And 68,000 crore rupees we kept with the center. How to invest this money, how to make program project, and there your role become very important. You come, you guide us, you approach us, and you make our plan. We are with you here. My coming here is not to deliver lecture here, keynote address. The madam has given a beautiful address. Thanks to you, ma'am. Lovely listening you. Our aim is NDMA coming here, yes, to giving a solidity, yes, I am with you. My organization is with you. Whatever time, whatever things you want from us, we are there to support you. We are there to shake hands with you. You tell us what you want. We got 68,000 crore. It is a 4 funding window. With the relief fund response is different. If something happened, we go and give money. The relief centric is we have overcome with the relief centric approach. It is a different approach now. Preventive approach. There is no relief. We are not waiting for somebody will do and somebody will wait, cyclone will go and cyclone will come, what to do. If you permit, I'll say एक शायर हुए हैं, उन्होंने कहा है कि 99 से पहले की बात थी कि जब उन्होंने कहा है कि आते हैं आने दो कश्ती का खुदा खुद हाफिज, कश्ती मतलब नाव, आते हैं आने दो कश्ती का खुदा खुद हाफिज, मुमकिन है उठती लहरों में बहता साहिल आ जाए। सोचते थे 99 से पहले कि बैठे रहो, समुद्र आ रहा है, साहिल आ जाए, बोट आ जाएगी तो बच जाएंगे, नहीं तो फिर वही कर देंगे, रिलीफ एंड समथिंग अप्रोच। Then came in NDMA in 2009 when we got NDRF with us. That is the time राहत इंदौरी, मैडम ने इंदौर का नाम लिया, राहत इंदौरी का बड़ा फेमस शेर है, तूफानों से आंख मिलाओ, सैलाबों पर वार करो, मल्लाहों का चक्कर छोड़ो, तैर के दरिया पार करो। दैट वाज द राहत इंदौरी। उनका नहीं यार, यू डोंट डिपेंड अपॉन दिस, पीपल विल कम, एनडीआरएफ विल कम, एसडीआरएफ विल कम, few people will come, Navy will come, Army will come, Air Force will come, airlift people. No. If you want to move, you have to find your own way and move ahead. And today, gentlemen, we are in 2025. And we are here when Basim Barelvi साहब का शेर है, आते हैं आने दो, ये तूफान क्या ले जाएंगे। अरे मैं तो तब डरता अगर मेरा हौसला ले जाते। That is the हौसला, that is the empowerment we want to give it to our people. And this empowerment, who is going to give? You are the generation, you are the people, you are the guys who are going to take this message कि no, if cooling roof is required, you have to do. Solution is available, please start doing it. Otherwise, wait for a heat wave. So much of pressure was there on heat wave, you know, you have to declare as a disaster. And finally, last year, we have pursued our case and we have declared as a disaster. Okay, if somebody is dying, we'll give you the money. Now, last year in September, we have issued letter, mitigation fund. With center, we got around 18,000 crore mitigation fund. In the state, every state got their kitty. We are given the money to them. And we have given the guideline, ki please use this money toward heat wave actions. Now it is up to the states, it is up to the districts, how they are going to utilize the money. Heat action plan, guidelines. We have issued guideline in 2016. We have revised guideline in 2019. Then we have issued one more guideline, cool roofing, in 2021. Now who is going to do it? It is the district administration. It's the district municipality. It is the district panchayat. It's the local leaders who have to come on board and say, ki yes, the fund is there. This is the measures we have to take and then move forward. Then do it. There is no dearth of money. Money is available. Only the niyat and niti. अगर नियत है और नीति तुम्हारे पास है, उस नीति और नियत को अगर तुम ठीक कर सकते हो तो देयर स्काई इज द लिमिट फॉर यू। वरना किसी शायर ने बहुत अच्छा कहा है कि यूं ही भरा नहीं है पानी शहर में। चारों तरफ देखे हमने, बिल्डिंगें बनी हुई हैं, आइलैंड बने हुए हैं, there is no green patches, there is no plantations. Honorable PM has taken thing one एक पेड़ माँ के नाम। तो आई थिंक हम सब लोगों ने, मैंने तो एटलीस्ट लगाया, आप लोगों से भी आशा है कि हर एक ने अपने अपने एरिया में एक एक पेड़ लगाया होगा। तो किसी शायर ने कहा कि यूं ही भरा नहीं है पानी शहर में, कुछ तो हमने भी भरे हैं नाले शहर में। मेरा शेर है, कुछ तो हमने भी भरे हैं नाले शहर में। इमारतें बनाकर रोकी हैं सांसें जमीन की, इमारतें बनाकर रोकी हैं सांसें जमीन की। कुछ तो नालों, कुछ तो गड्ढों को हमने भी दफन किया है शहर में. Now we are, NDMA is taking the water bodies to be retrieved. Yesterday I was with the Honorable Chief Minister of Delhi, and we said, ma'am, yes, we are doing it. The 200 water bodies they are recovering back. Gujarat, Ahmedabad has recovered 150 water bodies. Chennai is working on 200 water bodies. Everybody now is taking the water bodies back. Monsoon, somebody said, good monsoon. It is, yes, it is good monsoon. Yesterday there was a conference by Dr. Mrityunjay Mahapatra. He said 107% or 127% extra rain is going to be there. Where the water will go? But if the water bodies are there, if recovered water bodies, at least water got a place where it will be accumulated, and it will be used during the summer season. It is not that we are not doing it. We are doing it. But somebody at first place, how you have allowed the water body to be encroached by somebody else? Why you have not taken care? We are going back to the nature. Earlier I am from Uttarakhand, I am from Dehradun. When I used to go to Dehradun, although it will take 6 hours, आज भी 6 घंटे लग रहे हैं, 5 घंटे, but there was a village and the water body used to be there. Flora में, दूसरे गांव में, Flora वगैरह गांव थे, water bodies were there. But now if you go, only the complete roads. We have to take care of each other. Now we are recovering the water bodies back, we are recovering the plantations, we are doing that other things also. We have issued the guidelines. Now I'll come to my address. Address what to do. Now I have given, because Madam said ki NDMA is here. So I am here only to give you support, ma'am. Whatever initiative you are taking, whatever paper you want to do it, whatever action you want to take it, we are. मैं दिल से, दिमाग से, और physically I am with you people. My support is there. My NDMA, my team is full support is there. You please come over the scheme. We'll collaborate with you. We'll coordinate with you. We'll put you through the state's government machinery. Ki here is the people. They are the expert in cooling group and other things. Please contact them. New innovative ideas. So NDMA, as far as the NDMA is going, we have heat wave action planning under DM Act. It is already mandated. Every year from 2019 onwards, we are conducting heat wave workshop. This time on 13th and 14th February. Last year it was 13th and 14th February. This time again it was 13th and 14th February, and whole audience was cursing me, sir, why you are spoiling our Valentine Day. We have come from Mumbai, now we have to go back. My wife is waiting, my girlfriend is waiting, somebody said my husband is waiting. I said, no, 13th and 14th February you have to be here, and 2 days workshop in Vigyan Bhavan with all knowledge partners. This time we have conducted this workshop with international agencies. So this is, we are already doing it with the health department, IMD, government, state government, knowledge partners, we are doing it. And developing and scaling heat action plan. Yes, 23 states have prepared their heat action plan, the most vulnerable states. Out of 28 states, 23 have submitted the plan, approved it, and 250 districts have prepared their heat action plan. We have issued the template to them how to prepare the heat action plan. We have done it then. Roof, other things, everything, whatever knowledge partner have advised, because whatever we are doing it, we are not doing it sitting in office and Sabdajang and will issue the guidelines and all. We are taking input from you, because you know the ground realities, what is there, what is feasible, what is not feasible. On your advice, we are making our guidelines and we are issuing the orders. Then issuance of national guideline on heat management, that is, I have already talked. Capacity building of trainers, we are already doing it. Earlier, there was no community volunteers. It took 5 years to make 6,000 Abda Mitra in 25 states, 30 districts, every district 200, and we made, it took 5 years. But when we launched Abda Mitra scheme, your Abda Mitra scheme, in 2 years' time, we made 1 lakh volunteers in 350 districts. We are giving them 14 days training, we are giving them kit, and that particular district, we are giving them the equipment also. Because only cyclone, earthquake, landslide, and flood, we have included these things in that. So 1 lakh. Now we have launched this November, during our raising day, we have launched another Yuva Abda Mitra scheme, where 2,50,000 volunteers, we are training from NCC, NSS, Bharat Scout and Guide, and NYKS. There's 2,50,000 volunteers in the same 350 districts. We are going to start the Panchayati Raj program very shortly for worth of 160 crore rupees. We have just approved 1,000 crore rupees landslide program. We have approved 820 crore rupees forest fire. Now this year, last 2 years, if you talk 23-24, there was 12,000 fire incidents in forest fire incidents were reported in India. This year, our preparations, with support of you people and everybody, there is nil fire report till now. It's November 1st to June 3rd, 6 months running, and we got 129 fire incident. That is a small fire, not medium, not a large fire, not a single large fire, not a small fire turned into a medium and then large, not a single fire is reported today. So this is our preparation. We are working on GLOF, Glacial Lake Outburst. We are working on coastal erosion. You name the scheme, we are there. But who is going to implement? Like Madam has given a beautiful example of Singapore, the how. Now I will not name that who is implementing there, because here the things will go worst. But there a willingness has to be there. Who is going to implement? The implementers has to be there. Capacity building I have already covered. Integration with the urban flood and flagship missions, which I have already talked. Urban flood, 7 cities. We are working with 7 cities. Money is already approved for urban flooding for 3,000 crores. Pune, Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Calcutta. Now we have taken for 2,000 crore for 11 more cities. We are giving the tier 2 cities. The program is already been submitted and it has been approved. So we are working. It's not that what happened to that scheme. We have reached to that stage where we are able to launch the program and implement it. This is from 68,000 crore. What is the state is doing it 1,28,000 crore? This is up to state. We are not doing the micromanagement from here. It is up to state. This money is given to you. This is the guideline. This is the framework. You have to spend 40% in relief and response, 30% in recovery and reconstruction, 20% in mitigation, and 10% in your capacity building. That is what we are doing it. तो but मैंने कहा ना कि यूं ही भरा नहीं है पानी शहर में. That is what we have to see. It is not the job of bureaucracy. Yes, it is the job of bureaucracy. Who is following the building code? Either building code is applied or not. When Joshimath things happened, I was leading the team for investigation, and there was a 5 or 6 story, 2 hotel was there, they kissed each other. When we asked SDM, DM, everybody, yeah, how this? It is zone 5. How you have allowed this multi-story hotel? He says, sir, हमने नहीं allow किया. And that guy who was the owner of that, he said, I want 5 crore rupees as compensation. I said, yes, we'll give you. No problem. But show us the plan, show us the approval, and show us the construction site, how you have built. What is the, who was your ठेकेदार, who was your everybody? Who has taken this? He was not having any paper, nothing. On a 2 feet or 3 feet foundation, you can't go up to 6th floor and 7th floor, and that is in a that is in a zone 5 states. So there in hills, things are different. In plain, we are making building, and hills में, if I say, the पत्थर और पानी में आपस का बैर है. पत्थरों को ये शिकवा कि पानी की मार से टूट रहे हैं हम. Any monsoon, the thick monsoon, and you see the big boulders are coming on road. पत्थर शिकायत कर रहा है हमसे, क्या पत्थरों को ये शिकवा कि पानी की मार से टूट रहे हैं हम, और पानी को ये गिला कि पत्थर खुल के बहने नहीं देते हमें. If you are going to, if the normal waterfall is there, if the normal stream is there, water stream is there, there's no need to block it. There's no need to encroach it. Let the water flow it. It is the natural, कुदरत का खेल है ये. तो अगर हमने उसको नहीं रोका, कोई earlier I don't know how many people have visited Uttarakhand or Himachal and all. The water stream used to be there. लोग जाके गाड़ी रोक करके पानी पीते थे. Now that is not there. That is stopped. हमने रोक दिए उनको बना करके. फिर शिकायत कर रहे हैं पत्थर की पानी की मार से. अरे भाई, जो तुम वहां रोकोगे तो पानी तो कहीं ना कहीं रास्ता निकालेगा अपने लिए, वो तोड़ेगा तुम्हें. और पानी को एक गिला है पानी बेचारा. वो कह रहा है कि पत्थर जो हमारे वे में क्यों आ रहे हो तुम यार, हमें तो बाहर निकलना है. That is, you have to keep it in mind. That is what is happening. We have to stop all these things. Otherwise, keep spending money on Joshimath. We have given 1700 crore rupees. 540 before Uttarakhand. In 2004, I'm talking about 2002. Only 500, 600 houses were there. Now today, when we went in 2021, there's more than 5,000 houses are there. And no building code, no architect. Pahadi Fauji, he is the owner, he is a ठेकेदार, he is a mistri, he is a car, everything he do for himself. He said, I'll do it. So until and until beam and foundation and everything is not taken care, is not taking the guidance, if the building code NBC 2016, if somebody, now we are making an earthquake mitigations program for more than 6,000, 7,000 crore, it is already in a considered zone. So there we are doing it so many things. That is the thing, we are going to put one engineer in every district so that he can scrutinize, he can guide people, whoever is making a houses, we can do it. So this is what we are doing it. So uniqueness of this conclave, I compliment you, ISC, ICPA, for annual conclaves. Thematic area is slated for discussion today all are very good, assessing state infrastructure, building state level leadership, scaling efficient and climate friendly cooling solutions, great, scaling official climate friendly cooling solution, ठीक है, creating market enablers and sustain public procurement policy, and unlocking investment and financial for sustainable cooling, and bridging technical capacity skill gap for sustainable cooling. All topics are relevant to for Viksit Bharat, for NDMA, and for everybody. Now it is up to you, up to us. Let's sit together, let's collaborate together, let's coordinate together, let's come on one platform. What do you expect from us? Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm there with you. My office 24/7, 365 days for you people. You come with the guidelines, you come with the SOP, we come with some concrete thing, and I'm going to support it. Finally, I like to conclude with 3 points. Localized risk assessment is number one. Until unless we don't map the area, localized risk, disaster, what we do, we work with the state, identify the risk, and then transfer the risk to that concern, the development. If roads are coming, if powerhouses are making, if new infrastructure is taking place, we transfer the risk to that particular agency and say, this is the area where these problems are going to come. You have to be careful. Point number 2 is capacity building, which is NDMA is already doing it, and heat resilience, we are already working on that. And tomorrow, I got a presentations. Honorable Prime Minister during the summer season, he take 2 presentations, one in a starting, and second he will take somewhere in June. So tomorrow I am presenting a presentation of 6 ministry presentation, and the slot is half an hour, and I've already made my presentation. I will share with you people. It is Agriculture Ministry, it is Water Ministry, it is Health Ministry, it is IMD Earth and Science, it is NDMA, and it is one more ministry. It is a 6 ministry presentation, one slide. We are giving the gist, what is the stage. There is no, like Madam says, the water, 3 regions, there is excess water. 2 regions, yes, there is a shortage, little bit shortage of water. That's the north and eastern region. Other regions, we got sufficient, plenty of overwater. Groundwater, there's nothing to worry. Enough groundwater is there. I will talk to you some other day. Monsoon is going to be good. But this summer, you people and everybody stay and come together, and if you can give in some relief to the people who really suffering from heat waves, if you can give some solution to them, it will be a great thing. Capacity building, already NDMA is doing it, and inclusive cooling as a right, promote cooling as a luxury, but a development right, integrating into a housing, health, education, and disaster preparedness is to be included. So thank you very much. Anything you want to know about NDMA, our policy plans, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm available here. Anything, please. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was quite a refreshing address. I would say I'm an architect, and during my undergraduate architectural study days, I had the chance to be on site in Rudraprayag and Chamoli district to conduct a study for the aftermath of the 2013 floods. And we were working on disaster resilient lodging for pilgrims. And I completely resonate with what you said, how we have to look at the little nuances when we are looking at climate change. And it's so refreshing to see that Sher-o Shairi can be used as such a good aspect to understand climate change. I would now request Dr. Satish Kumar Ms. Arundhati Singh Khanna and Mr. Rajinder Singh to please come up to the stage. And I would request Dr. Satish Kumar to facilitate our special guests with a plant. We'll have a photo together. We'll have a photo together.